Okay, so to introduce you to this idea of geometric series and sequences, we have to talk a little bit about ratios. And to start with, I have to teach you a little bit about what a geometric sequence is. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have a link or a skip to the description to states that where exactly the ratios part is going to be. Alright, so geometric sequences, actually, I messed up on this one. It was sequences. I guess I got too caught up with the stuff we're going to do in further lectures. But essentially, we're going to keep multiplying something by something, a constant ratio, and that's what defines a geometric sequence. And if that sequence keeps going on and on, we know that it's geometric. However, there are some exceptions that we're going to talk about, and yeah. Okay, now let's talk about ratios. Ratios, you're going to keep multiplying by a constant, ratio. So these, I can tell you, are all geometric sequences, and I'm asking you to find the ratio of all of them. So, if you already know them, you can just pause the video and write them down on a separate sheet of paper, and you can come back to me. But, for right now, I'm going to walk you through these questions. So, to go from 3 to 6, we're going to keep multiplying by what? Well, 2. 6 to 12, that's 2. And 12 times 24, that's 2, and we know that our answer is going to be 2. Right? What about this next instance? We know that -1 times something is going to equal 2. Well, we got to cancel out the negative, so we have a negative in front of 2, because -1 times -2 is going to equal 2. So that'll be -2, and 2 times -2 as well is going to equal -4. And so on and so forth. So there's our second answer. And this case is going to be a little tricky. And what I see is that a lot of intermediate algebra students, they get confused. They think back to arithmetic, sequences and series. They think that, hey, well, we can just say that this is 2. This ratio is 2. Well, it's not 2. Look here. We're multiplying by something, or we're dividing by something. If we're dividing by something, we can convert it. We can convert it into multiplication by putting 1 over it, right? So say we're dividing x divided by y. That can also be the same. Y can also be the same thing as multiplied, but it's multiplying by 1 over y, right? And so the same logic applies here. We're multiplying by a fraction. So whenever you see this geometric sequence getting smaller, then you know we're going to have a 1 over it. In this case, it's going to be 1/2. And well, I hope this was an interesting and comical introduction to geometric series and sequences.